You know, the timing of this in camp is exactly right. We're rolling into our second week, coming to the end of our second week. And, you know, it's time for a little break. It's time for a little fun. There may be some things coming up in their near future they don't know about, but it's time to break it down a little bit and have some team building type stuff going on. And this was perfect. It was a great day for them.
And that's just it. I mean, you mentioned less than 3 weeks now from that opener. I mean, from here on out, I mean, it's just kind of tunnel vision to that season opener, right?
You know, we had that big scrimmage on Friday. We got a lot of plays in. We're going to have one more scrimmage, not as big as the one was on Friday, and then the 1 and 2 deeps will be set. The only way you're going to be able to make a move is make a move during the season. So it'll be time to start getting everybody healed up and get ready for the first game.
This is the first chance we had to ask you about a couple injuries. Pickard and Black we see out there, and then Service today. Any kind of gauge for how long those will be?
All those guys are okay. They're not injuries. Some of those guys were just precautionary stuff. The guy's got a swollen ankle, we put a boot on him. It's not like it's broke or anything.
Sure.
Like that. So those guys should be good.
As fun as this is for the guys, it's also an opportunity to kind of build a relationship, you know, with the fans as you build this program. How important is it to kind of have, you know, bring more and more fans into this program?
You know, this community is special, and Syracuse is special. And when you talk about how close we are, we're a small city. You know, we're not a big city. We're a small city. And everybody knows everybody, as you know, when it's a town this size. And I just think it's really cool that the community and the fans can really reach out and touch these guys and take selfies with them and really know what they're all about. I think it's really cool.
You said in the Cuse.com video the depth chart's getting figured out, most of the starters you have. For the backup quarterback situation, where are you kind of with that, and what have you seen from Zach?
Well, that's going to be big on the next scrimmage. The next scrimmage is probably going to settle that. There's no doubt that Zach's got the inside track. He's just so experienced. But we've got to settle it, and you got to settle that on the field. That's not by just doing plays. You got to be game-like situations, decide who those quarterbacks are. So to be continued.
How much did you kind of see from Tommy in the first scrimmage, and do you think he might get a little bit longer of a look in the second as you look at that?
All those guys are going to get longer looks in the second scrimmage, and he just did okay. He did okay the first one.
Okay.
Obviously, after getting the Virginia Tech win last year, they had a lot of confidence. How do you plan on boosting their confidence and making sure it maintains throughout the rest of the year this year?
You know, I think the big thing is every team is different. It really is, and I think that 2016 team is different than the 2017 team, and we just need to go out. We need to create our own confidence. That win is great, and it was great for recruiting, but we got to go out and do our own things in 2017 if we're going to gain confidence with this team. We need some more wins like that.
I think due to throw out the first pitch in the Chiefs game this week, and I've heard you're going to use a football this year. Is that?
Well, I don't know if that's true or not. I cannot confirm nor deny that, but I may have to just make up for the last time when I threw it in the dirt like it was a bowling ball. It was B-A-D, you know, with a capital B and capital letters on the A and D. So I may have to go and redeem myself with that one afterwards.
Probably the most important question of the day here, Coach. This offseason, what shows and what movies were you able to get off your list from Netflix this summer? You know you like the shows and movies, so which ones were you able to cross off the offseason?
Well, I don't know about that Netflix, but Game of Thrones is back out. I think they're like on 4. I think it's season 7, number 4. And the dragons that just went off and started blowing up and started putting fire on all the army men and stuff like that. You know, I'm a Game of Thrones guy, so I'm not going to watch TV. It's football season on Sunday. They'll tape it for me, and when I get home late, I'll watch it once or twice, and I'll go to bed. That's about the only thing I'll watch during football season.
Time for 2 more questions.
The cornerback position, just coming into camp, seems to be a really interesting one. You've got 7 scholarship guys who've played snaps. What have you learned from that group in the first couple weeks, and how ready are those grad transfers to maybe hit the field?
Well, I think they're ready to hit the field. We're going to find out where they're going to hit the field at in the depth chart scheme of things. I think there's a lot of competitiveness going on right there. It's a good group. It's deep. It's deeper than it was last year, and those guys have to come to practice every day. And it's not. I'm not giving you the lines here.
No.
I think it's very competitive, and it's going to go up to the very last scrimmage to decide who's going to win that thing, which is good for us.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We got a lot of good guys that could play. There's going to be a lot of guys that play that.
I was going to say, to see Scoop and Chris seemingly still getting runs with the ones when you got some older guys coming in and they're still on the younger side. What have you seen from them, just maybe not reacting to having these guys in there, but look, you brought in 2 grad transfers. You want them to play, I'm assuming. How have those guys kind of reacted?
Well, I think both of those guys are doing really well, but I think what we didn't anticipate is how the other two guys are going to step up and defend their jobs. And both of those guys you talked about earlier are doing a fantastic job. So I think we got a great nucleus of 4. I think we can maybe even go to 6 deep end.
Last question.
What are some of the steps that you will improve on this year is to get into a bowl game, to go farther than what you did?
I think the biggest thing we've got to start with is we got to run the football on offense. Everyone would say, hey, you got to start with the defense. We need to be able to run the football on offense and be balanced and take some of the pressure off of our defense. Now after that, we need to play better defense. We need to play better in the red zone. We need to get more turnovers. We need to get more third down stops. You tie all those things together and eliminate the penalties. We had way too many penalties our first year. We've got to cut that down. If we can do those things, we'll have a chance.